You ain't no hood nigga. I'm a hood nigga. End quote. That was a quote by Angel Garcia, Danny Garcia's father, in the press conference over about a month ago. Look, man, all I got to say about Angel Garcia is that motherfucker goes hard in the paint. Okay? I mean, seriously, when I watched that press conference, I thought I was watching a Waka Flocka video. That motherfucker crazy as hell. But, you know, the funny thing is, and I'm not even joking about this, after I watched the press conference, I must have listened to Waka Flocka for the whole fucking week. I had listened to tracks that I had never even listened to before. On one track, Waka Flocka actually says, "You ain't no hood nigga. I'm a hood nigga." And man, I must have busted out laughing. Word for word, boy. Angel Garcia is something else, y'all. Love him or hate him. Boy, I tell you, that was damn near the quote of the year for me last year, 2012. I don't know, man. Crazy. But anyway, man, let's talk about this Judah Garcia fight. Look, man, this fight is very interesting, and I'm really looking forward to watching it. When it comes to Zab Judah, man, Zab Judah is so fucking up and down, man. I mean, he makes it tough. He makes it tough on people doing predictions as far as I'm concerned. I mean, when you look at Zab Judah's career, first off, you know, I'm a big fan of Zab Judah. I watched him coming up with Floyd Mayweather in the rankings on ESPN and all the undercards of the big fights. And when nobody knew who these cats were, I was telling everybody, man, it's this cat named Zab Judah and it's this cat named Floyd Mayweather. They are some beasts. And you know, Zab Judah, he always had that. They both had, Zab and Floyd, they both had the pizzazz, you know, the swagger, the special effects when they fight. But Zab, he seemed to do it all with more of a pop, more of a bang. And, you know, as Zab Judah moved up in the rankings, of course, he fought Kasazu. And I think the majority of us who really knew boxing and followed boxing, they thought that this was a coming out party for Zab Judah, and he was going to pass the test with flying colors. You know, just like Mayweather over Corrales, Broner over DeMarco, you know, et cetera, right? De La Hoya over Janelle Hernandez. We thought that this would be easy. And to everyone's surprise, he gets knocked the fuck out. And then you fast forward past the Kasazu debacle, and, you know, Judah, he jumps right back in, and he's looking good for a while. He wins a whole bunch of fights, looking good at the 140-pound division. Then he moves up to 147. He fights Corey Spinks. A very good fight. That first fight was very good, but Corey Spinks outboxed him, outslicked him a little bit, but it was a very entertaining fight. You're thinking the same thing is going to happen in a rematch. All of a sudden, Zab Judah, he beats the shit out of Corey Spinks, knocks him the fuck out. And see, this is what I mean when I say he's so wish-washy, Zab Judah. You never know when the real Zab Judah is going to show up. He's so wish-washy. And then you have the situation with Baltimore. That fight, we all expecting Zab Judah to win that fight easy. All of a sudden, Baltimore upsets him. Then we all know Zab has that reputation of being a four-rounder, a four-round fighter. He looks impressive for 4 rounds, and then he falls apart under pressure. That has been the case with Zab Judah. But when Zab Judah fought Vernon Paris, I think a lot of people had started to write Zab Judah off at that time. And you had Vernon Paris, who was looking good, an undefeated prospect. He had just had some impressive wins on ESPN back-to-back. And I think a lot of people believed that Vernon Paris was gonna beat him fairly easy. And realistically, what's funny is Vernon Paris was talking the exact same way that Danny Garcia and Angel Garcia are talking about Zab. Zab is a bum. Zab is a, he a quitter. He a bum, he a quitter, and this and that and all that kind of stuff, right? Zab Judah went in there and annihilated Vernon Paris for the entire fight. All of a sudden, we didn't see that Zab Judah fighting good for 4 rounds and falling apart. I don't know if it had something to do with him fighting the young lion, but no, maybe it couldn't have had anything to do with that, because when he was fighting Amir Khan was a young lion, right? And once again, this is what I'm talking about with the wishy-washy when it comes to Zab Judah. You just never know. Like when he fought against Amir Khan, I don't think anybody expected him to look that poorly in that fight. He looked terrible in that fight. He looked like he was afraid to throw punches. Now, I could kind of understand that Zab had never been in the ring with Zab is 5'6", Khan is 5'10", and Khan is 5'10", and he has damn near the speed of a Manny Pacquiao. And he has probably the power of a Manny Pacquiao as well. On top of that, he's a silver medalist in the Olympics, and he's just he's an all-around pretty good fighter, considering who he's in the ring with, right? So I think that surprised a lot of people how Zab looked. But like I said, he's up and down. Zab is up and down. Then he comes back and he looks fantastic against another, undefeated prospect, Vernon Paris. So, it's wishy-washy. It's wish-washy. And as far as Danny Garcia, I really like Danny Garcia. The kid, he got a cool little swag. He's from Philly. He's a pretty good fighter. He's a decent fighter. I really started to gain more respect for him when I seen what he did to Kendall Holt. I thought that was an impressive performance. Kendall Holt, since Kendall had been a champion, outside of Tim Bradley, he had never really been dominated the way he was against Garcia. Actually, Garcia did a better job, against Holt than Bradley did. But overall, yeah, that was what, where I gained more respect. When I started to gain more respect for Danny Garcia. Then, of course, we already now when he fought Eric Morales. Now, and I will say, I was telling everybody, Danny Garcia is going to destroy Eric Morales. He's going to annihilate him. It's going to be an easy fight. And I was a little shocked that first fight went the way it went, because Eric Morales was always in the fight. Danny Garcia, he looked very timid in the fight. And that's when I started to say, damn, he's not as good as I thought he was. I mean, he's still good, but he's not as good as I thought he was. Then, of course, he comes back and he fights the rematch. And he does, in the rematch, what I expected him to do in the first fight. Then he moves on to the Amir Khan fight. And he destroys Amir Khan. But like I said, in the Amir Khan fight, Khan was actually winning that fight. And it looked like Garcia was going in the same pattern that he went in that first Morales fight. So overall, I like him. He shows a little bit of vulnerabilities, but he's a good fighter overall. But I will tell you this though. When I think of Danny Garcia, I see Zab Judah having a real uphill battle. And I think the hardest thing for Zab is, if the fight were to even go into the championship rounds, can Zab Judah continue to stay focused for 9, 10, 12, 11 rounds, all the way to the finish, to the final bell? That's going to be the biggest question, is can he stay focused? That's going to be the biggest question. Zab Judah, as far as I'm concerned, skill-wise, I think Zab Judah is a better fighter than Danny Garcia. Skill-wise, he has better skills. He has the speed advantage. He has the boxing knowledge, the boxing IQ advantage. But I don't know if he has the durability to go 12 rounds. Psychologically, does he have the durability? That's going to be the question right there. At the end of the day, I kind of see this fight like Zab Judah coming in looking great. Maybe the first 2-3 rounds. And eventually, Danny Garcia catching him with something. I mean, this fight can play out many different ways. You know, I want to give shots out to Vids, because Vids, he did a real good prediction on this fight. And on his video, he predicted that Zab Judah was going to win. And, you know, he was damn near 100% sure that Zab will win this fight. His video, you know, like I said, he has a really good breakdown and he has some really good points. And honestly, I hope you're right, Viz, because Zab Judah, like I said, that was one of my favorite fighters growing up. So I hope you're right. But I'm gonna have to say, man, it's hard for me to go with Zab in this fight. It's hard for me to picture him surviving 12 rounds, if need be, with Danny Garcia, knowing that Judah doesn't have a reputation of looking strong for a whole 12 rounds if it has to go to distance. I see Zab Judah possibly coming out looking good in the first couple rounds and him starting to get broken down and maybe stopped. And then I can also see the fight playing out where Zab Judah, he overwhelms Danny Garcia with speed, combinations, and power. Similar to Amir Khan, how he started off that fight before he got knocked out. And similar to how Zab Judah overwhelmed Vernon Paris. It's a couple different ways this fight can go. But like I said, I have to lean a little bit more towards Danny Garcia and thinking that he's most likely going to win this fight. You know, I hope I'm wrong, but I see Danny Garcia winning this fight. I see Danny Garcia winning this fight, and I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it. So yeah, man, that's my prediction on the fight. Can't wait to see it, and we'll talk about it afterwards. I'm on to the next one, y'all.